I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston, I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champions of the he wants.
Wilder's in a world of trouble, closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the third round?
And the ball to superlative.
Big right hook, lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight.
Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov.
And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and then next out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut. And just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration or a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers in like
Right hook to the body for Campbell.
left hook to the body for Garcia. And that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the body. Campbell on the ground. The count is on. Can he make his way up? It appears he can't get up. Campbell on the ground. Trying to stand up. And the fight is over. Ryan Garcia with a 7th round knockdown. What a performance. Guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers today. Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia.
Welcome to episode 11 of Trash Talk Mondays, guys. Thank you for being here. Another episode. I wonder where we'll be at episode 100, right? But this is episode 11, Trash Talk Mondays. We'll have Trey here shortly. Thank you for being here. If you're rewatching this after it was posted already, thank you for running this back and being here with us. A couple of topics for today. We'll get right into it. But just what's on the menu for today is, does Yair deserve a title shot? Yair Rodriguez after winning against Ortega. We have Makhachev versus Oliveira, which was announced. I would love to get into that. We will later. Also, Volkanovski moving up to lightweight, possibly. Cejudo might be in the mix of these topics as well. Nunes says she has the fire back after losing to Juliana Peña. How will she do in a rematch? She is still the favorite, which gets really interesting. And then Nate Diaz, his whole contract with the UFC. We'll see how that goes, how they feel about getting him a fight. There has been back and forth. Dana White has mentioned him in the post-fight press conference after UFC's last event this past Saturday, which I liked on Saturday at like around 2 p.m. It was really nice to see. I hope they do more afternoon events. But guys, just wanted to give you a quick rundown on what's on the menu. As far as the intro, I don't have anything planned besides what was my thoughts right before the stream. And what I was thinking about, guys, I would like to hear how you guys feel about this. But Brian Ortega losing in the fashion that he did. We'll have Trey here shortly. I just wanted to bring it up to you guys. I'll read chat. Kyle, I see you in the stream. Cole, I see you have Muay Thai class. We'll talk soon. Risky says W. Welcome to the stream as well. I was thinking about Brian Ortega, guys, and I couldn't help but think the position that he's in right now, guys, is just a tough one to be in. You lose again with a title shot, but this time you lost because of a shoulder injury by TKO. It's tough to be in that boat. Ortega to me looks like the kind of guy that, I don't know why I was thinking about this today, but the kind of guy that is down for anything. I mean, he just looks like a guy you'll say, hey, walk with me down to the corner store and let's just grab something to eat. He just looks like a guy that nothing ever bothers him. He looks like the most chill guy in the UFC. and people had a lot of high hopes for him coming into the UFC. We saw how he did against Max Holloway. We saw how he did against Volkanovski, where he took a lot of punishment, and he, well-deserved, gained a lot of respect from the fans the way he lost to Volkanovski. Despite him getting completely dominated, people loved him. But then he fights Yair Rodriguez, and a quote that he had that I didn't necessarily agree with is he was saying after the fight, I was winning that fight until that shoulder pop. It kind of reminds me of the whole Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor, where Conor McGregor was saying, I was winning that fight. I was, punching your head off until, I got injured. It reminds me of Sean O'Malley with Marlon Vera, where he still believes he's undefeated. And although Ortega difference compared to the other two fighters that was aforementioned, Ortega doesn't strike me as a prideful guy. But reading that made me think, I don't like that. And I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. But initially I was thinking, I don't like that. If you thought you was winning the fight, maybe it's one of those things where, he didn't get to sit down and really watch what was happening. I thought, in my personal opinion, that Yair was starting to get into a rhythm. Granted, he did get taken down towards the very end of that round with like about a minute to go, but I thought Yair landed like a front, right down the middle, a front kick, some jabs, some nice overhand rights. Ortega had some success of his own as well too, but it's one of those things where, I don't know, I didn't really like what I saw from Brian Ortega as far as the way he felt about his performance. And to me, it appeared that he was a bit slower in his striking. He didn't look that quick to the punch, that he didn't look that impressive in that first round. Granted, it was only one round. Beta, welcome to the stream. JT, plugs. Thank you guys for being here. Kyle, Ortega was about to win the fight in my opinion. See, now, me and JT, we kind of disagree a bit. Listen, it could have been where in the second round he takes Yair down again a little bit earlier. That could very well be the case. JT, we can talk about that. In my opinion, I liked what I saw from Yair more. I liked the pace that he was setting. I think, and this is of course just an opinion, I think in the second round he would have done a better job of defending against a takedown. If you saw Brian Ortega was fighting out of the clinch and then he moved him towards the cage, I think Yair would have been more adamant in not letting that happen, in my honest opinion. He just didn't look that impressive to me, speaking of Ortega. But I would love to hear how you guys feel. I would love to hear how you guys feel about Brian Ortega. What's next for him? He recovers. Do you see him ever fighting for the title again? Do you see him ever rising to dominance? Or is Brian Ortega one of those fighters where he's a gatekeeper? He's a 3-star level fighter. He's a big name, T-City. He has Mexico, Cali behind him and things of that nature. But he's not necessarily the fighter that we've all come to believe he will be as far as dominating the featherweight division. I don't know. Brian Ortega, to me, he just doesn't have the skill set to stand in there with the best of them, in my opinion. Not anymore. Not anymore right now. If you look at his current record, now this will be his third shoulder injury, if I'm not mistaken. That shoulder injury happened because of an armbar attempt. That doesn't mean it was an armbar attempt that made him submit or pop his shoulder out, but it was him, which was kind of strange the way he tried to get out of that too. But he loses to Max Holloway back in 2018. He beats Chan Sung Young. He loses to Volkanovski, and now Yair Rodriguez. We'll see how long it takes for him to bounce back. I'm going to catch up with chat, and then we'll get Trey in here. We'll give him his 5 minutes for his rant. Trey, whoever he bets on, whatever he says, we'll just gamble on the opposite and make a ton of money. So if you're here just to make some money, you just pick what Trey doesn't pick and you'll be fine. So we'll get to that in a little bit. Beta says, what's up, Miller? Beta, I hope all is well with you and your family. Snipey says, what's up, boy? What's up, Snipey? Snipey, what's good? JT says, I will say Yair was piecing him up, but when Ortega got him to the ground, I feel like he would have submitted him. And I don't think he would have had enough time in that round. It would have all depended on JT, whether he was able to get him down earlier in the second round. Because if he was able to, then we have a different story. Now, I will say, I believe that fight was headed into a pace where it would have got really, really interesting what would have happened. That I will say. I think it would have got really interesting to see what would happen in the second round, third round, fourth round. Would it have went the distance? Would it went past 3.5 rounds? I don't know. Tough to say. But we can talk about it. Wendy says, Ortega kind of reminds me of Tony Ferguson lately. I like the comparison without the accolades. Yeah. One of those, I hate to say, but maybe starting to become over the hill. To give him credit, he has fought the best. Holloway, Yair, Volkanovski, Chan Sung Young. We can't discredit his record. Cub Swanson, he beat Frankie Edgar, Moicano. He is a savage on his back. And as far as submission-wise, he can almost throw any submission out there. Guys, hit the thumbs up on the video. By the way, if you haven't, helps the channel out immensely. But if you're just getting here, a real quick recap. Does Yair deserve a title shot? We'll get that as soon as Trey finishes his spiel. Makhachev versus Oliveira. I can't wait to talk about that one. Volkanovski to lightweight. Nunes says she has a fire back after losing to Nate Diaz. After losing to Juliana Peña. And then after that, Nate Diaz. We'll talk about. I am going to call Trey now. I hope that he's ready, and then we'll take it from there. Guys, thank you for being here. Number one MMA channel on YouTube. We're making little edits. We're getting better with our streams, with our scheduling, with being more consistent. I really think this channel is gonna, just go completely north as far as just subscribers, followers, community. We have a good thing going. I'm calling Trey right now. He's gonna be ready. And then we'll take it from there. Let me share my camera with Trey. This is episode 11. Let's see where we're at episode 100. I'll read one more comment.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. Let me know if Trey sounds good to you guys. One more comment that I'm going to read. Yair might have gassed out and maybe got submitted. Very good point, Kyle. It could have went that way. I hope the rematch happens. Me and Trey will talk about it shortly. The camera looks good, by the way, too, Trey. But it was also a matter of... It was also a matter of time before Yair dropped Brian. He was landing every shot fast and hard right on the chin. Kyle, that's very well said. Who knows where it would have went as far as who was going to get the better of the other. Guys, without further ado, Trey is on the screen. Trey, welcome to the stream, of course. I don't have to say welcome because you're part of the stream.
What's up, man? Hey, what a beautiful way to start your week off. With yours truly. The king, the source, the most handsome man who does the podcasting, who's the most handsome capper you've ever seen in your life. Hey, you get to see me again, baby. Another week. I'm here. You're welcome. You're welcome, Miller, and you're welcome to everybody in the chat.
Your mic is capping out just a little bit when you get too close. That might be something I can fix. I will see.
I don't know. Maybe I'll stay back. I'll see if that helps. Maybe I need to scoot back a little bit.
I think you're fine. I'm gonna turn it down just a little bit. I think you're fine. Stay the way you are. I'll let you know. Right. Your 5 minutes are up. You sound great, and here we go.
Well. You know what I was gonna say? I was gonna come in here and I was gonna be joyful and I was gonna have a good attitude. You know what I'm saying? With a smile on my face, just chipper, because it's fight week. It's fight week, Miller. Congratulations. The baddie. The baddie. Hey, enjoy it, baby. He's about to knock out one of the prissiest little sissy. I'm not even. What?
I don't know if you have a gain on your mic to turn it down just a little bit. Something's happening where it's clipping. That's all. Yep. It sounds great until it gets a little bit too loud. That's all.
What about now?
Perfect. Way better.
Yeah, it got turned up on my knob. I didn't know that. All right, listen.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
He gets to knock out one of the little sissy, doing splits, looking lame, doing his little cheerleader stuff, boys, right in front of UK's very eyes, baby. I can't wait, and not to mention Tom Aspinall. And I was gonna be very excited about this, and I was gonna boast him up and talk about him a little bit. And then Miller did his opening. And he said something that just struck me the wrong way about two guys that I will not let him live down. Now I understand Brian Ortega, saying that about his shoulder, talking about he was winning the fight. Right. Okay, maybe not. But when you talk about two dogs, two superstars, two legends, One, the greatest of all time to ever do it in the sport. And then one, on the rise, making a name for himself, doing stuff with the Noke boys and everything. And you talk about them getting injured and hating on them, saying they wouldn't have won, when everyone here in the chat knows Sean O'Malley would have won that fight. And I told you he needs to get that fight. I told you last week they need to let them fight again, and he will whoop that boy Cheeto.
Oh my god!
And then you want to disrespect Conor like that? And you want to come at Conor's neck while he's down? While he snapped his ankle in half, and you want to act like he wasn't whooping that boy Dustin, and he wasn't going to keep tearing him up? Did you not see how mad he was after he got injured? Because he was whooping that man. He knew it. Here it was. I'm doing it right now. I'm beating this man. I'm about to whoop him in front of everybody. And here we go. A random, horrible, fluke injury happens. And you want to sit here and you're going to disrespect that man? How dare you, Miller? How dare you, Miller, disrespect that man, Dana White, the sport? They were winning those fights. And you're going to take back what you said about them, saying that they was talking like Brian Ortega, because Brian Ortega was not winning that fight. Let's be honest. Come on, what are we talking about here? We're talking about what ifs. If his shoulder would have been fine, he would have won. Come on now. That's Yair Rodriguez. Come on. And I know we're about to go into it. Are they really about to give this guy a title shot for that? Are we serious? Are we serious? I'll end it there so we can just go into the next topic. But come on. I mean, what are we doing here? I mean, seriously. We playing the what-if game and all this stuff? Give me a break. Give this guy another competitor, and let's get going. Volkanovski's injured anyways. So what are you going to do? I'm done. You can have the extra minute. You can talk. You know what I'm saying? I don't need it.
Listen, Trey. Isn't what you're doing with Sean O'Malley the whole what if thing? I was just curious.
No, it's not a what if, because everybody knew that he was whooping that man and he was going to tear him up, and that was an absolute fluke injury that's only happened like 2 other times in the UFC.
Oh, so now we're picking and choosing. That's just beautiful to watch.
It's not picking and choosing. It's not picking and choosing. It's just being honest. Brian wasn't winning that fight. We're playing what ifs. Sean was winning that fight, and he was going to tear that man up. Everybody knew that. Even Vegas knew that. That's why his line was so huge on him when he was fighting.
Listen, Trey, I would love to school you on the Sean O'Malley topic again, but let's just get right into the topics that we actually plan to talk about. Not that I know Trey's opinion, I don't. Trey, when you get a chance, look at the background of our stream. I think it looks great because I made the thumbnail a little bit. So when you get a chance, I made a couple little edits. It says MMA show. You'll like it. Check it out when you get a chance. Anyways, right to the topic, and the topic is right on top of the stream because I worked on that myself. I'd love to get some help from you. I'm just carrying this. My back is starting to hurt. Yair. Let's get right into that. We're gonna talk about it immediately. The mullet looks horrible. Yair deserves a title shot. Yay or nay? You kind of touched on it a little bit. Let me just tell you what I think. Who else? Emmett? Maybe you see Emmett and Yair. That's something that has been rumored a little bit. There's no one else out there. I mean, I can't think of a single name that deserves a title shot besides Yair Rodriguez. There's a guy named Bryce Mitchell that maybe after 7 more fights that he deserves a title shot.
You're talking about you mean Bryce Mitchell? You mean the country boy from Arkansas, Thug Nasty, with the best ground game in the UFC? Is that the Bryce Mitchell you're talking about?
There's Giga Chikadze out there. Bryce Mitchell, he's not even in the conversation.
Giga. Who absolutely embarrassed Giga? Was it Calvin?
Yes, it was Calvin Cater. Calvin Cater,
yeah,
yes.
Giga would never be the same. All right.
No,
he had his little 15 minutes of fame. He's done. Come on, let's be honest.
To be fair, I think it's either Emmett or Yair. Now it's tough because the way Yair won, but it's not his fault. It's a win at the end of the day.
Bro, how about you let Josh Emmett and Yair fight each other, and whoever wins that can fight Bryce Mitchell to see who fights Alexander Volkanovski.
That's how a lot of people feel. Volkanovski is dealing with the thumb issue, so that could very well be the case. How do you feel about Yair versus Emmett? Who wins that fight? And if that fight doesn't happen and Yair gets fast-tracked to the title, does Yair just stand a chance against Volkanovski? Both questions right on you.
I mean, well, here's the thing.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Let's start with Josh Emmett.
Okay.
If Josh Emmett can finish him early, like get him early, I think he can beat Yair. The longer that fight goes, the less it favors Josh, and I think Yair will win that fight. I'm just gonna be real with you on that. Now, when we talk about Volkanovski, I mean, hold on a second. Now, I told y'all last week. He's the second pound for pound fighter in the UFC. He is the best point strike fighter in the UFC. Maybe in history. Maybe just tagging people up and just fighting like that. Maybe he might be the best in history. This guy's a dog. No shot, Yair or Josh Emmett. I'll even say, what if Josh Emmett wins that? Doesn't matter. Alexander Volkanovski is going to tear them up, which is why there's only one competitor out there right now.
Oh no! Please don't do
Who
this,
can
Trey.
come for the weakness of Alexander Volkanovski and not stand up and fight him and not try and sit there and strike with him, which he did. Drew brought this point up. He did land on Edson Barboza and flat out lay him out, boy. So he's got the heavy hands too. That boy's country strong. Now listen. Who could attack Alexander Volkanovski's weaks? All his weak little areas in his game where he doesn't really fight that much, where it doesn't seem to go unless he takes somebody tired down and gets on top of him. That would be Bryce Mitchell being able to take him down and wrestle him and grapple him and tear this man up and rip him limb from limb. He might even pull a twister on him and do it again because he's only one of two people in UFC history to do a twister on somebody in the fight. Who has done that? Oh, only Bryce Mitchell and I believe the Korean Zombie, and that's it.
Listen, Trey, let's maybe take it to what Beta says. What about Arnold Allen? Because I don't think Bryce Mitchell stands a shot. That way he gets a real test and Emmett gets his shot. JT says, I want to see Ortega versus Yair again. Can that be a possibility? Because Bryce Mitchell stands no shot. So let's just throw that out in the trash and let's just leave it there. Never go back and retrieve that.
He's next
all right?
up. He's next up. You understand? He would already be the champion right now if he didn't injure what I think it was his hand, I believe, and was out for a year and a half. He would already be the champ.
We threw that out. You know how the trash comes like on Tuesday and you put it out there. You're like, oh, I threw out something important, but the trash already took it. Let's just do that with Bryce Mitchell. What about Yair? That was a good analogy, if I say so myself. What about Yair and Ortega again? How do you feel about that?
I mean, I guess if you need another fight, I would rather. It doesn't make any sense, really. You'd rather see him and Josh Emmett fight. But I don't. I mean, come on. What do we do? Brian Ortega, he had his little shine. He's not going to go fight Alex Volkanovski that fast. Like, come on. Nobody wants to see that. Let's give Volkanovski
even if he beats Yair. Even if he beats
right. Come on.
Even if he beats Yair. That's fair. Snipey says Mitchell versus O'Malley. I mean, that might touch a little sensitive spot for you there as far as who wins that fight.
Bryce Mitchell versus Sean O'Malley?
Mm-hmm.
Are they? I don't even. Are they not even the same?
Different
weight,
divisions. Bantamweight, featherweight.
Bryce Mitchell would beat Sean O'Malley because he would take him to the ground, and Sean O'Malley can't fight on the ground. Everybody knows that. We've seen him on his back.
At least he's being somewhat unbiased for a second.
Real. Bryce Mitchell's my favorite fighter, but Sean O'Malley's my second favorite fighter. If you're gonna make me choose, I'm gonna tell you. Because Bryce Mitchell's just like that.
Best ground game in the UFC, Oprah Milton, says Snipey, talking about Trey. Kyle says the real featherweight contender that will beat Alexander the Great is the best, Alex Caceres. I mean, we interviewed him. I don't know if you know about that, Kyle. That's on the stream. That's on the channel as well. You can check that out. We actually had a full interview with him, the only UFC fighter that we've had so far. How do you feel about that comment real quick before we get to our next one?
Hey, listen, shout out to Bruce Leroy.
Mm-hmm.
But is this guy in the comments? Is he joking right now?
My man Kyle, I don't know. You're gonna have to ask him. I guess
is he joking right now, or is there just something wrong with you? What kind of? That is a horrible comment.
Let me.
I can't believe you even sat there, typed it out. You thought about it in your head, typed it down, and then really sent it in this chat for everybody to see.
Let me read you one more, Trey, before we go on to the next topic. Beta says 1090 is so interested in Bryce Mitchell's twister. It's almost like he wants to get caught in it personally. I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, you
To
think I'm
me-
gonna be insulted by somebody whose name is Beta? You didn't even choose Alpha. You chose a little Beta boy. Are you serious?
Tyler,
I-
after the stream,
I can't-
hang
I
out
can't-
with us.
I can't believe we still talk about this guy. How are we still letting him comment in here? Nobody. This guy says the most irrelevant, horrible little roast he's ever came up with every time in here. It's bad. Beta, listen, go Google some stuff, okay? Go watch some videos on me. Go check out Wedgie's golf. Look at my golf game. Make fun of me about that. Do something else. You know what I'm saying? Because you're struggling right now.
Listen, let's move on to the next topic. That was actually funny, Beta. I'll give you that. Let's move on to Volkanovski, since we're talking about him a little bit already. Should he just go up to lightweight? There was a tweet I would love to show you guys real quick. I have it up here. Speaking of moving up, and Volkanovski says, here it is. Well, there isn't. Wait, right there. It's right there. It says Oliveira versus Makhachev. After it was announced, Volkanovski says, I got the winner. Should we take him seriously or not, Trey? How do you feel about that?
Should we take who seriously?
Volkanovski, the winner of Oliveira versus Makhachev, which we have to talk about that fight. But first, should Volkanovski try to do what Adesanya tried to do against Jan Blachowicz, what other fighters have done, trying to reach for another title in another division, or just absolutely not stay in the featherweight division? Because I have a strong feeling about what I think Volkanovski should do, but please.
Listen, I'm not opposed to him going and getting another belt or moving up in a division. Okay,
Or
I'm not
try
opposed to that.
or trying.
You
think he has a chance?
Right? Not. I think he has a chance. Yes, absolutely. He's the best point fighter in UFC history. The second pound for pound fighter in the UFC. Like, come on, let's be honest.
He has absolutely no chance.
Even though he's a little tiny little jelly bean in his own division, he's a little tiny boy. But still, listen, he's quick.
He doesn't beat. He doesn't beat
power.
Makhachev.
He's got more power than you think.
You think he beats Makhachev or Oliveira? Or has a chance?
I think it could be Oliveira.
No. Oliveira's more dangerous than Makhachev.
All right. Listen.
Yeah.
Here's the point. I'm not opposed to him. I'm not opposed to him going up there. I think he has a chance against Oliveira. Islam would be a tougher fight for him because he would just get taken down and dominated. But listen, I'm not opposed to it.
Okay.
As long as everybody's willing to admit, if he does do that, it's because he's running from his toughest opponent that he could have right now, and that is Bryce Mitchell.
I think I shouldn't have asked him that. Obviously, I think it's pretty obvious that I shouldn't have asked him that. Stop it. He's not running from Bryce Mitchell. He's not going to go anywhere. He's going to stay in the featherweight. If
he knows what his fate is. He knows what his fate is.
We're going to throw that out in the trash. But one last time. If Bryce Mitchell keeps winning, he'll have that opportunity. Let's stick to Volkanovski. I know you have Bryce Mitchell. I don't know, the bobblehead things that Ariel Helwani has. You probably have one right in front of your screen that we can't see. Listen, Bryce Mitchell, we're throwing that out. Volkanovski, he has no chance in the lightweight division, in my honest opinion. If he fights Oliveira.
Against Oliveira, he does. Yes,
no, Oliveira is so lanky.
Yes, he does.
If you think Oliveira hurt Dustin Poirier, took him to the ground and submitted him, I think he does it maybe in a faster fashion against Volkanovski. He's just too big. He's too dangerous on the ground.
Listen. I'm not trying to hate on the size or anything. Listen, of course he's a freaking little tiny boy. It would be like you going into that division. You know what I'm saying? Because you're a little tiny midget boy. But listen, he's got power. That's something you don't have. He's got power.
He does.
He's stronger than he looks. Bro, he's the best point fighter in UFC, maybe in UFC history. What are we talking about? He's second in pound for pound fighting in the UFC right now.
You could almost identically.
How could you say he doesn't have a chance?
You could almost identically say the same thing about Adesanya, one of the best point fighters in the game. What did he do? Go up in weight against Jan Blachowicz, got dominated. Jan Blachowicz got on top of him.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that about him since like 2018, though. Please stop that.
No, he still is. I mean, fights are boring, but he's been lapping the division. Volkanovski going up is not going to go well for him. I'm telling you that right now. But I'm glad we're talking about this because I'm really, really excited. We've talked about this a little bit before here and there. Oliveira versus Makhachev. Let's just get right to that topic. Volkanovski is not going to win if he goes up. Oliveira versus Makhachev. Listen, Trey, the odds. I saw the odds. I think I put it in my story real quick. Let's see if I can bring it up. I have it here somewhere. In the meantime, Talk to us, Trey. Oliveira versus Makhachev. How do you feel about
First
it?
of all, the odds are crazy on that. I seen you share that on Instagram. If that's real. But listen,
Yeah.
I kind of like Islam. I'm being real. I kind of like him. I don't
minus 300 for Islam, if that's the real odds. I think those are early odds. I put it on the screen right now, but yeah, talk to me about Islam versus.
I mean, I kind of like him, dude. I think they'll fight on the ground more, and I think that favors Islam. I think he actually is better on the ground because he's stronger. Now,
he is very strong. Yes.
Bro. There's something about Charles that once he starts getting whooped, it's like he just has that Undertaker moment where he sits up, bro, and just comes back and wins. I don't understand it. I'm still trying to figure it out. After his last fight, I was literally so confused. So
I wasn't. I called it. Do you remember that? Like I literally called.
You just guessing. You were just guessing, bro. That's what I'm saying. You just guess. You get lucky sometimes.
Yeah,
bro. You're in the negative. You're in the negative.
Just like I did with Derek Lewis and Bam Bam, right? I just guessed and was right. Right.
Did I even say Derek Lewis was gonna beat Bam Bam?
Yes,
I don't even remember that. You're trying to bring up some stuff that's a long time ago. Nobody even remembers that. Nobody cares about that. You're disrespecting both of them. I like both of them guys, and you're trying to disrespect one of them. And I don't care who it is. It's probably Derek Lewis because you hate him for some reason. Because you got issues. You know what I'm saying? You got something personal going on, and you take it out on Derek Lewis.
I'm sorry to pat my own back, but I specifically said Derek Lewis was a gatekeeper, and I was proven to be right. But that's neither here. That's neither here nor there. Your sunglasses are a gatekeeper. They look like laminated paper, and you just folded it. And then you have the zebra print. Like you couldn't have picked a worse set of shades. I'm just throwing that out there.
Is that a children's large or is that an adult small you're wearing right there?
It's an adult medium, actually.
Just curious. Oh wow.
That hat and the shades.
You're wearing a big now.
Did that come in a combo?
You're trying to match my hat. Look at you. What do you mean?
At Five and Below, who wears AirPods and a mic at the same time? I mean, that's just weird. Your whole. I'm sorry. I digress. Listen, let me give you a thought, Trey, that you might agree with here. Listen, I thought about this. And I know I'm going strong for Oliveira. I'm not changing my mind before you get a little bit too excited. Let me say this. I was thinking about Makhachev, Trey. All right, and before the stupid grin comes on your face. He's scary. Let me say this. Yes, Charles Oliveira will submit almost anyone else on the ground, right? I think that's fair to say. Anybody in the division, in the lightweight division, if Oliveira gets on the ground with time left on the clock, he probably submits him. One word with Makhachev that makes a difference. One word, positioning. When Makhachev takes someone to the ground, he's not going to put himself in a place where he gets submitted. He's going to hold the position. He's not going to rush. Maybe it gets a little boring. If Oliveira gets taken to the ground, I don't know if I feel so confident in Oliveira pulling off a submission on the ground. And if it becomes a point style fight, Makhachev does scare me. I was thinking about this more and more. Yeah, Oliveira's dangerous. He has power. I'm a little worried. He's a southpaw as well too. I wonder how that plays. Yeah.
Everybody sit there. I want everybody to listen up right quick because Daddy's about to speak, okay? The source is about to give it to you. The past 3 fights, or maybe 4, that Charles has fought, when somebody knocks him down, what do?
They don't engage.
Stands him back up. Guess who's not going to be doing that? Islam. Because he wants it to go to the ground. He wants to get on top of him.
Do you think he wants that to happen with Oliveira?
Yes. What do you mean? He thinks he's better on the ground than Oliveira. They don't respect Oliveira.
You don't think so? Like
they go into every fight, like, oh, we respect their opponent. Man, they don't respect. They think they're way better than them. Come on now. I mean, Khabib's his coach. Like, come on. His best friend. He's been training with him his whole life. Of course, he's giving him that confidence. Like, bro, he's gonna end up landing a punch because Charles is notorious for getting smacked in the face by something big always lands on him. He's gonna fall, and it's gonna be the first guy he's fought in like 4 fights that as soon as he falls, they're gonna be right on top of him, whether it's welling on him or trying to get him into position to choke him out. But it's gonna happen.
Listen,
it's simple as that. Simple as that. I just broke it down for y'all. You're welcome. The source did it again. Congratulations. Go and tell your friends and look cool for him.
I just made a poll that I want you guys to vote on about Makhachev versus Oliveira. Trey, just a couple comments in the chat, guys. Thank you everybody for being here. We're back weekly. Can't wait to see where we're at by the 50th episode. This thing is growing pretty quickly. It just feels great. JT says, Trey, Oliveira will submit Islam. Wendy says, judges will have Islam's back. That's an interesting case and take right there, Wendy. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Goyo says,
Dhabi, I think.
Ryan Garcia is far from the real deal that he has fought a whole bunch of weak competition. We'll talk about that soon as well, Goyo. Hopefully Charlie gets a sub, says Wendy. He called Derek Lewis the GOAT. Yeah, he was just foolish. Kyle says, people think Makhachev will be champ because he is related to Khabib. Islam is more crafty than Khabib, but Charles is not getting beat right now. Charles will beat Islam by decision, says Kyle, which was an interesting take. Watching Makhachev beat Zabit and Sambo made me realize how deadly Islam is. So I love reading all these comments. It seems pretty even in how the people feel. Let's just say, Trey, I'm a little worried. I'm a little worried for Oliveira. I will admit that.
But you're what? But you choose who?
I'm still sticking with Oliveira.
Look at you. Miller loves to do this. He loves to ride the line a little bit and figure it out until he sees what everybody else is saying, and then he'll finally go with that guy. That's really what he does.
I've actually went with the underdog a lot. I went with Yair when everybody was going to Ortega. You know that, right? I went with Bam Bam when everybody was picking Derek Lewis. Everybody was saying it's a different level of competition. Just throwing that out there.
Everybody was saying Derek Lewis. I mean,
a lot of people.
On. It is, but Bam Bam's ready, apparently. Apparently he's ready.
Beta elaborates very well. He says, I hate being against Oliveira, but Makhachev is the only person I say has a semblance of a chance. JT says, don't be surprised if Oliveira knocks him out.
What, dude? What are you even talking about right now? I bet the line on that will probably be like literally plus 10,000 because there's no shot.
No, yes. It'll probably be like
7,500.
It'll be like plus 900. It'll be like plus 900.
Heck no. Hey, listen to me, everybody, right now.
Islam has been knocked out before.
If you go to bet Charles to knock out Islam and then it's only plus 900, you leave that place right now because they are ripping you off.
You think that's too low of odds?
Way too low. Way too low. It better be like 7,500 at least.
Listen, Islam has been knocked out before. We can say that. It has happened before. He's been knocked out before. It can happen again. Charles Oliveira is, and that's something that I think people don't give him enough credit for. He has heavy hands. That's a horrible jug. That's like a laundry detergent jug, guys. This guy is just.
It is. I'm done with this. Because everything you're saying is making me want to do that to myself right now. Okay. Everything you're saying. Everybody who's disagreeing with me in the chat right now, that's what they're making me want to do. I'm not even joking. We're not being serious right now. Come on now, y'all. How many times has Charles been knocked down in his past 3 fights?
It doesn't matter. I mean, it does a little bit with Islam.
6, 7?
It does matter with Islam a little bit. It does. But that whole stigma of he's a quitter, he's not going to stay in the fight, it's over. He has gotten back up and then knocked people out or submitted them.
Yeah, great.
But listen.
Now do it again. Great. Now do it again.
I'm sticking to Oliveira. Don't we have a $20 bet on that?
I don't know if we don't. I'm down for it, though.
What did we bet on the last stream? I got to look it up because I think you owe me for Yair versus Ortega, no? Didn't we shake on that?
I don't know, but if I'm losing money because freaking Brian Ortega can't keep his shoulder in his socket, I don't know if that's what we bet on.
I'm going to have to revisit that. I think Trey owes me $20. Chick-fil-A on him this weekend. Interesting question that the chat asked, and then we got a couple more topics before we get off here today. Kyle says, do you have Gan or Bam Bam? Cereal Gan versus Bam Bam Tuivasa. Real quick, who do you pick for that one, Trey? I will quickly say, gun to my head, if I had to pick easily, I'll pick Cereal Gan. That's just me.
Really?
Yeah, easily.
He just had a freaking walking zombie slow-mo fighter.
Francis and Khabib?
Yeah, Francis, zombie boy, accidental takedown, noodle knees boy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, noodle boy.
Francis, who
Little
looked like he stayed in Dagestan for like a whole year. How beautifully he wrestled against Cyril Gane. That was an
he was getting accidental takedowns and accidental leg sweeps and everything. Yeah, that's the one. Oh, noodle legs. You know what I'm talking about? Where he was barely walking, looked like a baby or a toddler walking for the first time. Yeah, that's him.
I don't mind bringing this up. I'm not gonna lie. I was impressed with Francis Ngannou's performance. I thought it was quite interesting, quite fascinating how well he looked. And we can also talk about Francis versus John Jones. But yes, interrupt me, please. Go ahead.
It makes so much sense because you don't know fighting. So, of course, you think that looks good.
That's a good one. Of course,
you think that looks good.
Even though my picks are better than yours.
Your picks aren't better than mine.
Yes, I have to.
Somebody start tracking them, please.
Didn't you go like 0-7 on a card, if I'm not mistaken?
I've swept more cards than you've gotten bets right.
Actually, no. The card recently with Sean Strickland versus Pereira, that whole card I got right. I made a friend of mine, I think about $180, and he only bet like $16, something like that. It was like a 6-fight parlay. I should have bet it myself. I feel bad about it. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
I made my friend money. Yeah, okay. You got it.
Kyle says Charles didn't get knocked down in the Gaethje fight, especially the second knockdown. He goes to the ground on purpose. That could be one of those things as well, too. The whole Nate Diaz acting like he fell to try to submit someone. But chat, let me ask you guys this. Does it benefit Oliveira to be on the ground against Makhachev? Who has that's the question. Who has the advantage on the ground when Islam is on top or Oliveira is on the bottom? Is that somewhere that Makhachev doesn't want to go to, or is that somewhere he actually in fact wants to go to? It reminds me of the whole Ferguson versus Khabib
Let's just
topic.
Let's just break it down. Here we go.
Yep,
You ready?
Yep. Real quick stat. You know Oliveira has the most subs in like UFC history, right? So that's something not to be taken lightly. I think.
What is that? Is that a knife comb where it looks like a knife but it's a comb?
Bottle opener.
Oh wow, alcoholic. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I have a condition. That. Yeah, it's okay.
You
been
good?
going through
you
a lot.
You all right?
Yeah, it's just hearing you every Monday has really been taking a toll on me.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I bet it only takes a little fifth to get you drunk, right? Because you're so tiny.
Honestly, because I only weigh like 150. Yeah, so like I'm pretty.
It probably
light.
looks like a full size wine bottle in your hand. I bet.
Yeah, your mother is horrible. Talk to me about the whole Oliveira versus Makhachev. Yes, what were you saying before you distracted all of us?
Let's break it down.
Yeah.
Who has a better chin?
Oliveira.
Okay, I would say Oliveira after these past couple fights where he's got knocked down and still
Oliveira.
Back. All right, who has better hands?
Wait, before we get there, Islam doesn't get touched that much.
Oh. All right, we're gonna
let's just keep going. No. Wait, no. Like we're gonna keep going, but like this is good. This is like you're really making me think for once. Oliveira, Islam has gotten knocked down before. He takes the fight to where he wants to. Do you see Oliveira touching Islam? Just simple question. Like, do you see him landing? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I don't. I mean, yes.
I'm getting excited talking about this.
Yes, but I see him going for takedowns early. Like he might tap him a couple. He might get hit attempting takedowns.
Let me ask you this: has Islam ever been hit by someone as strong as Oliveira? This is good. We're getting somewhere, guys.
I mean, probably. Okay, but here's my thing: who do you think is stronger, Oliveira or Islam?
It depends what you mean by stronger. As far as striking, I would say Oliveira. As far as ground control and just wrestling,
that's who has better hands. That's who has better hands.
No, I don't think necessarily.
Who has more strength?
Striking wise, I think Oliveira has more power than Makhachev. It's a different kind of strength, wrestling and striking. Not all of the best wrestlers. Ben Askren, he's strong, but his striking isn't as strong.
Okay, so does Islam have better wrestling strength?
Strictly wrestling, yes.
Okay, no, I'm not talking about. I'm just saying who's stronger. Like if they were to grapple with each other, who would have the power there?
Makhachev.
All right, are you okay, dude? That was so hard for you to say. Are you good, dude?
I'm sorry.
You look disgusted having to say that.
No, I didn't understand the question because you don't do that well with those. Makhachev.
Yeah, after you were just hyping me up, you know what I'm saying? Now you're trying to. Anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, bet. Who has the better ground game? Who has the better ground game?
Depends what you mean by ground game.
All right, let's do it both ways. Who has the better top ground game?
Makhachev.
I agree. Who has the better bottom ground game?
Oliveira. So we're 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
Okay,
right,
right.
It's pretty even. Right? It's pretty even right now.
This is getting good.
Who do you think has better distance control?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Trey, this is this is really good.
It has to be Islam. It has to be Islam, right? Because Oliveira's been getting freaking dropped every fight he's been fighting.
This is the format we have to do because I really feel like this helps us kind of like, you know, really feel confident about our picks or not. What I will say is that it depends because Islam hasn't been, to my knowledge, in the octagon with anyone as lengthy or rangy as Oliveira. So I don't know. I think with that question, we're gonna have to wait and see until that fight.
All right, now
Oliveira has a beautiful. Who has a better jab, for example? I would say Oliveira.
But all right, yeah. So here's my next question: who's more explosive? You think?
Probably Makhachev.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. That power is there.
But you're trying to tell me I was torn. Mm-hmm.
But you're telling me that Oliveira's striking power is more than Makhachev's.
His jab is better. Give me 1 second. Babe, can you call Penny? I'm sorry, my dog is playing with a squeaky twin. That's just annoying me. Oliveira's jab is more precise, but more explosive as far as going for the takedown and just things of, listen, I'm not gonna lie, Trey. I'm not overly confident as much as I was until today. I was thinking about it while I was driving. I was at work in 96-degree weather, completely like just, hot. Just thinking about.
I was out in it too.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
That mullet must not help, right? With the heat, like, doesn't the hair like hit your neck?
Actually, it's kind of crazy. It's known to take your sex appeal up at least 5 points at all times.
And you need everything you can get. Yeah, so I understand that.
And plus, Beta's mother has been in my DM since I started doing this with the mullet. So,
Wow. That's interesting. Look, what he does say, he did have a sambo match against Zabit, who was 6'1". But I'm talking about like managing range striking. It gets really interesting. Beta, let me read a couple messages. Makhachev top game beats Charles bottom game. Ooh, the way he phrased that was quite interesting. We'll talk about that in a second. This is from Kyle. He says Charles wins the fight by landing sharp knees in the clinch and not getting sweeped in the clinch, which we'll see what Oliveira can do about that. Charles has underrated striking. Yes, that's something that I really want to talk about. Will Ryder says, what's up? What's up, Will? Welcome to the stream, my guy. Zelmay in the building as well, too. Zabit was 6'1". It's just different when you start adding the striking, which sambo there is striking in sambo, but does it compare to Oliveira? I don't know. It's just a different sport. I know there's a lot of similarities. To what Kyle said, Makhachev top game beats Charles bottom game. I think you were kind of like agreeing with that earlier. Is that am I correct in that statement, Trey?
Yeah. Do you not think so?
I don't know. I'm gonna be. I don't know.
How good do you think Charles's bottom game is? Like,
most
who's really tested? Who's really tested him?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Who has really tested Oliveira on the ground?
Couldn't tell you. There hasn't been anybody in a while.
You're right. If you really think about it, Justin Gaethje was never going to test him in that realm or in that category. Dustin Poirier had nothing for him. Michael Chandler, another striker. He has faced a lot of strikers. Tony Ferguson, unanimous decision, 3 rounds. Yeah, Tony Ferguson wasn't the same ever since that fight, I believe. Kevin Lee, you're right. He has the most submissions, but if you look at the names he has fought, they're not the most scary, alarming grapplers, wrestlers. Islam could very well be.
They're strikers. Just say that they're strikers.
They're strikers. Yes. Now, something that I don't want to glance over: Oliveira's just physical attributes, how lanky he is, throwing up submissions to kind of get Islam defensive. You don't think Charles has any opportunity or any chance in making that happen?
I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, you just said it. He has the most submissions in UFC history.
I'm saying,
am I gonna say no?
does that mean anything when he sees Makhachev in the octagon? That's what I'm more asking.
What, his submission possibility?
Is that a threat to Makhachev, or is Makhachev so good on the ground
That's
that it
his
doesn't
only
matter?
threat. That's his only threat, because I'm telling y'all right now, 0% chance. Go ahead and go waste your money since people saying it and you're saying it.
Right.
0% chance he's gonna knock out Islam.
If
There's
it's
no shot.
So this is where we might disagree. Strictly striking, Oliveira, I think, might have an advantage there.
How long do you think they're gonna be striking for?
That's a good question. There's always a threat of the takedown, but what I'm telling you
All
is that
the striking they're gonna do is them leaned up against the fence.
you might be right.
Down again.
You might be right. Oliveira's jab, though, is a thing of beauty, and if he could just implement that somehow in the beginning of the fight and kind of set a standard, he could win a decision.
It's not Usman's jab, but yeah, it's pretty good.
Is it? I don't know.
Usman's got the best jab in the UFC.
I really
Tell me I'm wrong.
I like Oliveira's jab a lot. Who else is a great jabber in the UFC right now? I would have to think of a couple names. Usman is up there. Usman has a beautiful jab.
Alex Pereira has a nice little heavy jab that he was popping Sean with.
And then he switches it to the lead hook, which is just beautiful.
Crazy.
I mean, that's another topic for another day. I have Pereira beating Adesanya. I know that sounds a little foolish. Adesanya was beating him in the kickboxing matches. But yeah, okay, let's finish up with this topic. We've been on it for a while. But I will say, Trey, Oliveira, that topic, I'm not as confident as I once was. I will be honest. I'll be honest. Final thoughts on Makhachev versus Oliveira, Trey.
I got Islam. I'll take the 20 if we don't have a bet on it. I will take it. $20 bet on Islam. And I'll take your money, and I can't wait. And then Chick-fil-A will be on you. And
we bet on something on the last fight, and I think it was a Yair fight, but we'll talk about that in a second. I'm just texting the wife to please. Oh, Font has fell off a lot, Will Ryder. Speaking of Rob Font, I thought I was gonna see a lot more of him being more threatening, but
he's a bum.
I just don't think he's that threatening as I once thought. He lost 2 fights in a row, right? If I'm not mistaken. And I just don't think he's the same anymore. Abu Dhabi judges will be on Islam's side. That is a threat. What's up, plugs? That's something that can't be taken lightly. Yes. If it goes to a decision and if it's somewhat close in any way, that could be a little bit scary. But final thoughts you have, Masha?
I don't know if it goes to a decision. I'm not ready to say what I think it's going to be yet, but I could see it not going the distance.
Last question on that. Let's say there's a prop bet that it goes a distance. What do you think the number is going to be on that?
That it does go the distance?
That it does go the distance. Like, what's going to be the odds on that? That's a tough one. I'm telling you, this fight has more dynamically, like, interesting questions than I first imagined. At first, I was like, Oliveira wins, just because of maybe recency bias. I'll be honest. The performances that he has been quite spectacular, and Islam as well too, but not as impressive as Oliveira, in my opinion, or the level of opponents as Oliveira. But yeah.
I don't know. If the fight, maybe the number would be like, I don't know. I would have the number, the fight go the distance. I would have it maybe like minus 135. I would have it favorited, I think. Just because
you think that it will go the distance?
No, I think that's what it would be, though. Like, if I had to guess what the line on it would be like minus 135 in favor of it to go the distance.
I thought you were saying that you don't see it going the distance.
I don't see it going the distance, but then you said, what do I think the line will be? I think it's going to be favored for it to go the distance.
Interesting.
I don't think it's going to go the distance.
Gotcha. You just think that the betting odds, that's what it would be. That's interesting.
I think the way Vegas would do it, though, is they would have it.
That's interesting. Kyle says Charles is definitely winning now that Trey has picked Islam. Kyle, let's not take that too lightly.
You don't know what you're talking about, you little dummy.
That's something to really think about. Trey doesn't pick winners. Wendy says if it goes to decision, judges will 100% give it to Islam. That could very well be the case. That is something that is not to be taken lightly. All right, guys, we've been on that topic for a while. We're almost at an hour. Let's just quickly get into something that I want to talk about real quick, and that is Nunes versus Peña. That's 2 weeks from today, roughly, a little bit less. Nunes versus Peña. Nunes says that losing to Juliana has really lit a fire under her now, finally, after losing, because she was coasting, beating everybody quite easily. In this rematch, Trey, Nunes versus Peña, how do you feel about it? I believe Amanda's still the favorite, but who would you pick for that fight?
Yeah, I believe Amanda's gonna finish her. I mean, I think Peña had a
Wow.
little run. It was exciting. She did her thing. Let's be honest, we've never seen Amanda Nunes like that. She looked absolutely awful when they fought last time.
Yeah.
It was the second largest upset in betting history for the UFC.
Right.
And I don't see that happening again. There's no shot.
His
She had her
jab is
night.
good
She got
will.
to shine. She got to do a little tough enough season, whatever, so come on. It was fun.
Listen, I made a mistake, Trey, in the first fight with Juliana Peña. Let me tell you this. My gut, I promise you, I think I've said it in streams. I wish someone would look it up. My gut was going with Juliana Peña. But I kind of got swayed with the masses. And I'm like, you know what? Amanda's just too good. Juliana's just talking a big game. Juliana was on the MMA Hour just talking crazy trash. And I should have saw it for what it was. At the moment, I really thought, look, she has a chance and she believes what she's saying. I don't feel most people are like that when they talk about Nunes. And then Juliana pulls off the upset. In this rematch, I'm going with Juliana. I think she has her number. I think she doesn't fear Nunes like more. It's one of those Ronda Rousey effects. Remember when Ronda was just dominating everyone, taking it straight to the ground? Remember when we thought she was good? I'll wait.
Wait.
Yeah.
You telling me you think Amanda's gonna come back and look like she's gonna get Amanda? What Amanda Nunes did to Ronda Rousey? Because that's who she came back against. Was against Ronda Rousey. It looked like she never fought before. You think Amanda Nunes is gonna get Amanda Nunes?
Can I be honest,
buddy?
Let me just ask you this question, just the way you phrased that. Didn't it look like Amanda never fought before against Juliana? I mean, it was horrible. What was that? She was like,
she didn't look like she wanted to be there at all. Even in the pressers and everything, like,
right?
She just seemed like she was just like not even really interested.
It was weird.
Are we like? You think she like, bro?
Listen.
Get Amanda Nunes? Are you crazy?
Listen, Trey. I made the mistake.
Who was Ronda fighting?
Trey, let me just give you a brief history of why I'm gonna stop doubting myself. Just so you might not know these names, Anthony Joshua, Alexander Usyk. Same thing. I'm like, my gut tells me that Usyk is gonna pull this off, but you know when you're with a crowd and they're saying, "Oh, that's corny," and then you just automatically agree with them, but then you realize, "Hey, I actually like jazz music." Like, things of that nature. I think Juliana's going to pull it off again. I think Juliana on the ground threatens Amanda. I think if Amanda doesn't have that one shot that lands and Juliana stands in the pocket, she actually hurt Amanda. And it was weird. Once Amanda went to the ground, it's almost like she gave up before the choke was even locked in. It could be a very mental thing. It could be a Conor McGregor, I can't land my left straight down the middle, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to doubt who I am. I don't mean to bring family into this. Now she has a kid, she's waking up in silk sheets. Juliana, if she pulls this off again, Amanda's career is already solidified. Her legacy is already solidified. I think Juliana's more hungry.
Listen, here's the thing. Who's to say? You know what I'm saying? We've seen it before with Derek Lewis when he took the fall for Ty. You know what I'm saying? We've seen it before there.
Please don't do
Who's
this.
to say? Who's to say that Amanda Nunes wasn't taking the fall for Peña and giving her a little shine and letting her make some money? You know what I'm saying? Have a little fame. They can go do a tough season, and then make a little extra
Snipey.
money doing that, and then you know what I'm saying. It's just all a little money scheme. She comes back, wins the belt, does it again, has all the shine and everything again. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she wanted a little break. Maybe she was too tired of fighting and wanted to just take the fall for Juliana, be a great friend. You know what I'm saying, and give her the belt for a little bit.
She did say her heart
Who's
is
to
back.
say that
Is
didn't
back
happen?
in it.
She left American Top Team, didn't she, or wherever she was at?
She did.
So, hey,
I want to bring it up. Let me see if I could pull it up real quick. Let's see if okay, hold on a second. Let me show you guys here real quick. I saw this. It says everything about that fight was very good to me. It's like, of course, I lost my belt. I don't want to lose my belt, but it kind of took the pressure away from me too. Nunes said, "It's like for so long I had the belt with me and fight, prepare for big fights and all those things, and it's a lot." And it was for years and years. Everything was happening in my life so fast, and I was cleaning out the division. So where's the part that I want to get to? That fight I pretty much wasted, you know, which credits your point. So I have to get 100%. I have to get in my camp. I will love to jump back in. And if she beats me at 100%, okay, Nunes concluded. How much fire Peña truly did light under Nunes will be answered at UFC 277. When was this posted? This was July 18th. So these are comments from Nunes very recently, Trey. Listen. Just because you have the fire back. By the way, $5 by Snipey. Who doesn't love Trey, says Snipey. Everybody, Snipey. That was an easy question to answer.
Hey, watch your daggum mouth. Everybody loves me. You watch your mouth, you little short boy. Hey, give another $5 to Miller, please, because he needs a new booster seat. His is getting worn out. He's been sitting on it so much every time he streams.
Who are you betting on that fight, Wendy? Let me know. Snipey, thank you so much for the $5. Far too kind. There's new gym called Scissor Sister, says Whale Rider. Watch him end up fighting Jojo Diaz. We'll talk about him right at the very end. But closing thoughts. Nunes. She might say the fire is back. I have Juliana Peña winning. Someone else had as well too. Kyle says Peña will win by decision. People might think the first fight was a fluke. Yes, people do think that, especially with Amanda dominating Peña in the first round. But I think Peña will have confidence this time and will edge Amanda decision. I agree with you as well, Kyle. Any last thoughts on that fight, Trey?
Yeah, you are dumb. Kyle's a freaking idiot. I've never even seen one smart Kyle in my life. I mean, who's named that? Only losers. But here's the point. Amanda's going to knock her out. I mean, it's going to be quickly. It's going to be simple. I told y'all again. I mean, it's over. Come on, let's not do this. Let's move on. Amanda's back on top. She's not about to get Amanda Nunes like she did to Ronda Rousey. Miller's tripping for even saying that. And yeah, as simple as that.
We're gonna go to our last topic, but I feel really bad because I take your money a lot. So if you don't have to accept this, but if you want to do a straight money line, $20, Nunes versus Nunes versus Peña, I'll give you it. So, you might owe me $20 already. We gotta look.
Is that on the same card or no?
What fight?
Islam and Charles.
No. That's like down. That's like in November or something like that. I just saw it today.
No, it's October. It's October.
Okay. Yeah. That's in October 22nd. Yeah, not on the same card. That's like 2 weeks from now.
I'll take Amanda. 100%. Yeah, absolutely. $20. I heard it here first. Stamp it.
That's how strongly I feel with my gut. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Brandon Moreno versus Kai Kara France. We'll talk about that in the next stream, but that's all in the card. Derek Lewis versus Pavlovich. Derek Lewis is probably going to lose again. Pantoja versus Perez. Magomed Ankalaev opens that card against Anthony Smith. That's crazy. We'll make sure to talk about that the next podcast. Trey, were you able to watch the Ryan Garcia versus Tank fight? Versus Fortuna fight.
Right. That'll never happen.
Were you able to see this past weekend though?
No, I watched like maybe just like the little highlight clip of it of him like winning or whatever.
People were bringing up the Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. If you have any thoughts on that, let me know. I just want to quickly say, Trey, before like we could talk about any other topic. Man, we have so much to talk about. This is episode 11. Quick, just sidetrack. Trey, this is episode 11.
Yeah, it feels like we've been doing this for a long time, right? When I saw you put 11 on the thing, I'm like, what the heck? It's only 11.
Bro, Joe Rogan has like UFC fight companions like 2 something or 100 something. Like, imagine where we're at 100. You know, I'm just like, I'm so excited for that, man. Like, I really am. Like, but it's a grind, right? We're only at 11. We have a long way to go, but just like, I don't know, something to think about.
I know. I think about stuff like that. Like when we get 100 episodes in, I'm just like, dang.
Like, where will we be? Like 20 viewers on
we're gonna
weekly
be able
days,
to look
30, 40.
Oh, maybe more. We'll be able to look back and be like, holy crap, look at all the knowledge Trey was telling us the whole entire time for 100 episodes. Right. He was just dropping nuggets of gold in on us.
We need a good thumbnail where like it's like your face, my face, and like your under your face it says like the source or something. Like I'll work on that. I'll talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I'll talk to my graphic designer. So Ryan Garcia versus Tank Davis. Let me quickly say this. Okay, Ryan Garcia's performance was somewhat more impressive than I imagined him to have, I'll admit. But I feel strongly about this. He has absolutely no chance against Tank Davis. He still closes his eyes sometimes when he throws a punch. Not saying I'm better than him at fighting. Fortuna is about 33 years old, but he just doesn't have that pop that Tank Davis has. He's nowhere near the level that Tank has as far as speed and power. Fortuna tagged him a couple times, but imagine if Tank lands any kind of those punches. He has natural power. I don't think Garcia stands a chance. He has been calling Tank Davis out. I think it's in his best interest to maybe fight a Jojo Diaz or someone else. I don't think he's on par with a Tank Davis. I'm sorry.
Are you talking about Ryan Garcia, the Instagram boxer?
Yes. I think he has God-gifted speed and power. But in the boxing game, that's not enough. You saw what happened to Edgar Berlanga when he actually started fighting bigger and better names. It made it a little bit more difficult for him. I think the same thing's going to happen with Ryan Garcia. He has Joe Goose and he has a veteran of a trainer. I just don't think that's going to go well for him. Will Ryder says Kai Kara with a fire thing. Yes, I can't wait. Marcus M, welcome to the stream. Ryan wipes the floor with Jojo Diaz. I don't even know if I feel that strongly about that. Listen, I'm not sold on Ryan Garcia anymore.
Who was the last fight where Ryan got dropped by that dude?
Luke Campbell. A credible name. Bro, a credible name.
If that dude is catching him like that, that man Tank is knocking him into the hospital.
To be fair, Tank doesn't have the reach or size of a Luke Campbell, but he has the speed to kind of equate to that.
Power.
Yeah, he does. He's very, and I just think he's a better boxer. Now, Ryan Garcia landing a couple clean punches on Tank could be quite interesting, but we'll talk about that. Amanda gets KO'd this time. How about that, Trey? Says Muscles from Brussels. Welcome back. Tank gonna need a step ladder to fight Garcia.
Sorry, I just wanted to congratulate Muscles. You officially had the dumbest comment of the whole podcast today.
I need every Jake Paul fight to end in a decision. That's going to happen soon as well, too. Torin, welcome to the stream. Laughing my ass off, Snipey. What did Snipey said? Jake Paul versus Rockman Jr.? I mean, he's fighting somebody that just got knocked out. I want to see Ryan Garcia versus Davis. I do, too. He ducked Haney to fight Diaz. He doesn't want any parts of a Devin Haney. Listen, we've been live for an hour and 8 minutes. And now we have 18 viewers. That's like almost double from last week. I mean, let's keep this going. I try to keep this to only an hour. What's up, Trey?
I don't know if you notice, every time you put me full screen, people see that and they come in here and join and say, "What the heck? This is so much sex appeal in this stream right now. What is this? I got to see what's going on." That's what it is. So you're welcome, and you're welcome to everybody who's getting to look at me right now. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I was born like this. I mean, come on.
Since we're talking, let's just talk about one more topic since we got a good amount of people in here. Last topic, Tom Aspinall. He fights this weekend, Trey. I want to hear your thoughts on Tom Aspinall before I share mine. But that'll be this weekend against Curtis Blades. That's a pretty dangerous fight. How do you feel? Stylistically,
Curtis Blades laying stiff. Like he just got frozen by an avalanche on the ground. I'm talking stiff. Arms locked. And guess what? Deja Vu's going to strike him one more time this Saturday, baby. He's about to get absolutely dropped off by Tom Aspinall because Tom Aspinall is next up. He's a real heavyweight competitor. He's a real heavyweight champion I can get behind besides some little bum who's got noodle knees and can barely walk and move around in a championship fight. Tom will be able to do that.
Whoa.
What's the problem?
Whoa. You know, I'm a bigger fan of Tom Aspinall than you are. I've been talking about this guy before you even know who he was.
You didn't even. I'm the one who put you on to him. What do you mean?
Let's just say I'm a big fan of Tom Aspinall. Listen, but I'm gonna tell you this right now. He's not ready for Francis Ngannou. So if that's what you're saying by noodle knees, he's not ready for it.
Of course I'm saying that about noodle knees. Francis Ngannou can barely walk. He walks like a toddler in the ring. This dude would run. Somebody athletic, like, right, all right, Cyril Gane, he was athletic, right? And I was saying that the whole time, the most athletic dude. Guess who's the second most athletic dude in the heavyweight division right now? Tom Aspinall. And Tom Aspinall would get up there in there and rock him. It won't be some boring fight where it looks like he just forgot how to fight and they were just dancing around each other, barely walking, just throwing a punch every 14 to 15 seconds. Bro, that fight was horrible. That was probably one of the worst UFC heavyweight fights in history. You think we're worried about Francis? Tom's just headlining his shows right now in the UK and everything because he's just trying to give time for Francis to heal up and get better so he can go in there and he can take care of business and he can be the champ. And then Francis can skedaddle on out of here. Do we even know if Francis got his contract worked out? He said he wasn't signing another contract unless he was getting a boxing fight. So what's that all about?
JT says he won't be able to defend the takedowns. Zelme says, in the source we trust. I like that. He beats Gane with them. Listen, with the whole element of wrestling for Francis Ngannou and then the striking as well too, I don't have any heavyweight beating Francis Ngannou right now. I'll say that. I'm just
listen. Is he even going to be able to fight again, Miller? He said he's not signing another contract unless he gets a boxing match. Is he even going to fight again?
He's probably going to get John Jones next. That's something that Dana White has mentioned quite a few times. I think is a whole contractual problem.
All his little pouting and everything he was doing in the presser and saying all that stuff it was all just hype and he was just blowing smoke. That's what you're telling me.
I think
because that makes him even more of a cornball to me.
I think he's doing the right thing in trying to negotiate and make things interesting and trying to get the most money that he can. Because Dana's out there giving $250,000 to the Nelk boys, but not giving Francis more money. I'm just kidding. I don't feel that strongly about that.
Okay. No. You're not kidding though. You're not kidding though. You said that because you were serious.
No,
you said that because you were serious.
I was actually watching Ariel Helwani.
Because Dana's giving his own. Oh, dude, don't even get me started on Ariel Helwani. Of course he was against him.
Last topic before we get out of here. I'm loving this podcast today. I actually don't want to get off, but I really didn't want to stick to an hour. Guys, we'll be here next week for that. We'll be here this weekend for Tom Aspinall, Curtis Blades. Anyways, Ariel Helwani just keeps disappointing me more and more.
That dude's a cornball.
I really used to like Ariel. I still do. I still do. But you know what he said?
Of course you do.
You know what he said? He was like, he goes, isn't it a little weird that Dana White is hanging out with 25-year-olds and blah, like, let him, he does what he wants with his free time. The $250K is out of his own pocket.
Right. His son is like really good friends with him. Of course he's going to be with him because he hangs out with his son and all that stuff. I mean, is Ariel serious? Ariel's just mad because he doesn't have any friends. He sits there and talks to a screen every day.
I think he generally likes the Nelk boys, and I don't have no problem with that. Ariel has been hating a little bit.
Hey, leave it to Ariel. Leave it to Ariel to hate on some people from his country. You know what I'm saying? After he hypes up Justin Trudeau and all that, and then he's gonna hate on the Nelk boys. It all makes so much sense. He's just an absolute lame and cornball. Everything that Dana White said about him is absolutely true. He's a lame.
I mean, Dana has been saying it for years.
And guess what? Yeah, I'm woke, Dana. I'm woke. You were right. You were right, Father Dana.
Beta says Tom Aspinall is a BJJ whiz, though, so the takedowns might be too much of a detriment to Blades, which is quite interesting. Makhachev beats Oliveira, says Marcus, and either Fiziev or Prohashka beats Usman. Somebody mentioned earlier, and I'm sorry, Muscles from Brussels, he said Cruz versus Cheeto Vera. Last one. Just pick a fighter for me there. Quick recap, 30 seconds, and then we're out of here, Trey. Cruz versus Marlon Vera, that'll be August 13th, I believe. Vera's the guy that beat your lover, Sean O'Malley, effectively. If that fight would have kept going, he would have picked him apart.
They beat him.
Dominic Cruz is a veteran.
16-0. That's why Sean O'Malley's 16-0 now.
Dominic Cruz is a veteran. Who do you have in Marlon Vera versus Dominic Cruz?
Dominic Cruz is the vet. Marlon Vera, you know what I'm saying? He has a good one. Who'd he beat? Whoa.
You
What's
saw
going
that?
on over there?
Mike.
There's daggum jungle over there.
It's actually kind of crazy out here. Yes. I'm sorry to interrupt you with my cat.
Anyways, before I was interrupted and you're doing all them little show tricks over there and everything. Anyways.
Yes.
I got Dominic Cruz because if I'm not mistaken, if I'm thinking of the stat correctly, which I usually am because I'm smarter than everybody in here right now.
I'm going to fact check you, so be careful.
I don't think Dominic Cruz has ever lost a non-title fight in the UFC.
Ooh, that's an interesting stat. Let's see. He lost title fight. Okay. And his only other loss, he has lost a non-title fight.
In the UFC?
So you were wrong. They don't need to know whether it was in the UFC or not. Let's just say.
No. Yeah, was it in the UFC?
Technically. Yeah.
Technically. Oh, here we go. It was trying to stretch it and make it look like I'm wrong. Y'all see what this guy is? This is the type of guy you are dealing with. This is the type of guy y'all support.
March 24, 2007, Uriah Faber. In the WEC.
What did I say my stat was?
Non-title fight.
In the
UFC.
In the what?
In the UFC.
Okay. And you're talking about the WEC right now.
The UFC bought out the WEC, you know, where they got Korean Zombie and
was it the UFC
Dustin
yet?
Poirier. No.
Was it the UFC yet?
No.
So, like I said before, Miller went on this stupid little tangent.
Right.
If I'm not mistaken, which I'm usually not because I'm always right, because I know more than anybody in here right now, Dominic Cruz has never lost a non-title fight in the UFC.
That's right.
So I'm putting my money on him.
Whale says Cheeto easy. You'll like this one.
That was just one of Vaughn's little minions.
You'll like this one. Marcus says Sean O'Malley fight wasn't fair. 16-0 for life. Oh man, you're gonna become Trey's best friend.
Thank you. Hey, that's my boy right there. You love to see it.
This man just F Charles out of a championship, but gives YouTube nerds fight of the night money. That is $250,000 is a lot of money. Time will tell, says Will Ryder. Says he is smarter. His hat says different. Snipey. All right, guys. Closing remarks, Trey. Before we get out of here, Trey. Today was nice. I'm not gonna lie. Nice back and forth. You know what I love? What we did today, Trey. Real quick. I'm sorry because I just asked you to have closing remarks and then I just keep talking. I do that sometimes.
No, you always do this. You always do this.
But Trey, real quick. That back and forth we had about Oliveira and Makhachev breaking down which one of the two was better in certain categories, that was nice. That was nice.
It keeps you from running and saying all your little BS comments. It makes you actually think about it. It makes you actually break it down and say, who is better? I can't look like an idiot right now. I got to say, obviously, this one's better. And it makes you really open your eyes and see that, hey, you're not right about who you're choosing.
If I'm not mistaken, that was my idea.
It was my idea. I'm the one who said, okay, let's see. Who's better? And then you got all excited and started going on this little tangent or whatever, trying to make it your idea. And everybody knows it was my idea.
It could have been. Either way, that was nice. That was nice. I'll admit.
You're welcome.
You ever seen Flagrant Foul? I mean,
yeah,
I don't want to.
Andrew Schultz.
I don't want to hype this up, but what I ordered, real quick, I'll show you guys before we get out of here. Let me see. Is he in the studio with the light? This is not it. Let's see. No, I gotta go to like an older podcast. How back do we gotta go?
What is it?
Anyways, he has like a nice little light. I ordered that. It should say MillerDC on the background. Like it's like, I don't know, Flagrant Foul has it and it looks like absolutely amazing.
I don't, like a
and it says like Flagrant 2 on it. Oh, yeah, is it this right here?
Like
is
a
it this
fluorescent light or whatever? What's it called?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like you would see at a bar, like an open sign. You know what I'm saying? They got the open signs that have like the.
You see it right there. You see it, chat right there. I showed it. It's like cursive. I didn't get the cursive one, but it looks nice. I should have probably got it bigger, but that's what I'm planning to get. Anyways, it's gonna look nice, Trey. We're gonna try to improve the stream little by little. I'm trying to get scorecards. I'm trying to have a topic changer on the stream. We're little by little, Trey. I think the background to the stream looks good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the more you distract people from looking at your face, the more that'll help, and more your viewers will go up and everything.
No, that's perfectly fine. I think that's why you wear shades, a hat, a goatee. It's almost like we can't see your face at all. You have AirPods to cover your
I've
your
told
ears.
y'all. Yeah, I've told y'all why I do this. Y'all don't get to look at me in the eyes no more after y'all talk disrespectful on my name and everything in the live streams and everything. Y'all never look at me in my eyes again. Because I'm above every single one of y'all.
Before we hear Trey's last remarks, guys, we're about to get out of here. Kyle says, and he said it very simply. He says, great stream. Plus, I would KO Trey in a fight. Kyle, let me just say thank you, because I had a great time as well, too. We're going to be doing this every Monday. And I apologize, Kyle, because to say that you would knock out Trey in a fight is almost like saying, is water wet? You know what I mean? Like, it's like, who wouldn't? So that's all I have to say about that, Kyle. Trey, I'm sorry. Keep cutting you off. Any last thoughts before we get out of here?
Yeah, this is my last thoughts. Here's my last thoughts. I'm ending it right here, okay? First of all, I want to say, Kyle, you big dummy. I only know two types of Kyles. One is the type of Kyle who's in like 6th grade, and none of the parents want their kids hanging out with them because he's an absolute weirdo, always getting in trouble, and he's just a troublemaker, and he's kind of like just like one of the lames going to turn out to be nothing, you know what I'm saying? So if you're young, I could see you turning out to be nothing, maybe working for a garbage company or doing something like that. The other one is
actually making a pretty good living, Trey, I think.
Who's a little frat boy who passes out at the party early because he took 2 funnels to the head or he shotgunned a beer and it was too much for him. You little frail boy. You little frail frat boy. All these little fanboys in here talking about you would not KO me. You probably couldn't even reach my chin. Now, listen. I want to say this
hilarious.
Before I leave.
Before
I leave. Beta's an idiot. Who even names herself that? Get that little cat out of here when I'm doing my promo.
Yeah,
Anyways, let me say this. Let me say this. Alex Volkanovski is running from Bryce Mitchell. He doesn't want nothing to do with him.
I'm sorry,
That's
guys.
the only one who's challenged him. He's an absolute herb for running from him. I don't care how good he is. Bryce Mitchell would take him down. He would bully him. He would give him that country strength and bully him just like I would bully Miller. Just like I would take Miller down and ground a pound and ruin him. Islam is coming for him. Thank you for the 20 Miller. I can't wait to get that. Amanda Nunes is going to knock out Peña. It's going to be easy. I can't believe you would even say that she's going to be like a Ronda Rousey type. You're a bum for that. Y'all need to get y'all's upgrade your brains and your IQ in the MMA. And guess what? I'm the one who gives you that. I'm the one who tells you all about it. I'm the source. I'm the one who gets it done. I'm bringing the valuable information to you every single Monday because you need it, because you bums don't know how to think for yourself. I enjoy all you fanboys. I'm happy you got to see me for another week. Hey, way to start your week off, baby. You saw the most valuable person in the world. Congratulations. Hey, Trey Bomb's out of here, baby. Trump 2024. Let's go.
I apologize, guys, because you guys shouldn't have to go through that. Marcus says, great stream. I'm in class right now, but we always got to be able to watch the stream. Marcus, you're a loyal one. Thank you so much. Snipey says they all got banned, Beta, says Snipey. There's the cat, says Zelma. Yeah, I got to make sure these animals are not down here when I go live. Bryce Mitchell, the bum like you, Trey. Bro, this guy loves Bryce Mitchell. Trey picked Cody versus Kai. Did he pick Cody in that fight too? He's just a horrible, like I'm telling you, you bet against whatever he picks. And you'll win 99% of the time, bro. It's just a given. Trey pick Cody versus Kai. They need a comeback. Snipey says, Beta, let me see. LOL. Zelmay, the homie, always showing love. Trey, show us the handsome face. Well, me, Trey, a top G. Listen, guys. Listen. It has been fun. We've had a great time. This is the #1 MMA podcast, talk show, whatever you want to call it, commentary channel on YouTube. I truly feel strongly about that. I had a great time today. It was a lot of fun. I know I've said this before, but this is probably my favorite live show. We're just going to keep getting better. If you guys have any suggestions on what do you guys want to see as far as in the live show that we can do, like in addition, maybe a certain topic or whatever. If you guys have any of those kind of suggestions, or any criticism, guys, honestly, I take it all well. I want to make the show really, really good where more people start coming, and we have our loyal ones already here. Like I really think that we can make something special out of this. So let's keep making it happen every Monday. Then with the fights on the weekends, Kyle says, Trey, I'll hit you with an uppercut and turn you into a giraffe. But he says, Kyle, I never seen your cat before. Oh yeah, like he's getting big. It's been great, guys. Thank you, Kyle, that you'll be here for the next one. It's great to have you. Wendy, have a great night as well too. Zalme, Snipey, Beta, Whale, Marcus. Almost sounded like I was about to rap. Like I said, Trey accidentally says smart 10% of the time. Accidentally is a key word in that sentence, Snipey. That cat a star. Let me sign him. Let's go, Zelma. Guys, I'm out of here. It has been a blessing. I'm not an alcoholic. I don't know why this is down here, but it was fun. Yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. Let's just keep improving. If you guys have any constructive criticism, not only will I take that well, I encourage you guys to reach out to me because whatever I could do to make this channel better, I want to do. We are back and fully focused, guys. I'm going to be making more shorts, more videos, more live commentaries. And I don't mean that lightly. I thought to myself, with the baby girl, you know, she's about to be 2. Truck driving, not that I hate it, but listen, let's make this grow so I could do this full time. Eventually. I feel strongly about that. That's why I will repeat it. I'm out of here, guys. God bless. Good night. Much love. I hope you guys have a good rest of the week. You can always reach out to me in Instagram, Twitter, or the community tab. I'll keep making posts, and we'll be back. Hit the bell for post notifications. We're out of here. #1 commentary channel on YouTube and talk show. God bless. Good night. Great stream. What's the next fight? You covering Curtis Blades versus Tom Aspinall this weekend. We'll be covering that. And there's a bunch after that. UFC 277, things of that nature. So just keep it locked, and I'll keep updating you guys on social media platforms. God bless. Good night. Beta, much love. Peace.
I'm the best ever. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me.
Yo, bounce guy, go off.
I'd like to take this chance to apologize.
In November, Zoe will get old, so different type of game.
Wilder's in a world of trouble. Closing seconds. Can he weather the storm here in the 3rd round?
And of all the superlative.
Big right hook lands flush for Cambosos, and that knocks down Teofimo Lopez. We have ourselves a fight. Khabib Nurmagomedov gets a triangle choke from up top. Gaethje's out, and the fight is over. The triangle choke for Khabib Nurmagomedov. And Porter gets knocked down. He gets knocked down again. 10th round TKO win. Left uppercut, and then knocks out Leo. It appears he's out cold. The fight is over. It was a counter left uppercut, and just like that, what a left uppercut. I did not see that coming, ladies and gentlemen. I will have to admit, what a fight.
Nice celebration of a 3K video. I don't know, man. To hit 3,000 subscribers in a
Good night, Marcus.
Right hook to the body for Campbell. Left hook to the body for Garcia. And that knocked down Campbell. It was a left hook to the body. Campbell on the ground. The count is on. Can he make his way up? It appears he can't get up. Campbell on the ground. Trying to stand up. And the fight is over. Ryan Garcia with a 7th round knockdown. What a performance. Guys, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up. We're trying to do record numbers today. Ryan Garcia tearing up and crying. What a performance for Ryan Garcia.